flushing Estra's brakes. Look how much the master cylinder moves with no load on it. There's the cabin filter right there. This S2000 came from Orlando. He's getting a bunch of little things. The big thing he's getting is a new soft top. He's done a good job at repairing this a few different places. He wants it raising up to our specs. A few little things that we just kind of pointed out to him while he was here. Different bolts like this, not a big deal, it's just stuff that we noticed. A little sketchy. It looks like it's just some wire shoved under that terminal. Belt looks to be original. It's had an intake on it. This hose doesn't look like the right one. It's stressing a little bit there. That might be a fill point. He's going to go for one of our wrinkle black valve covers, a yellow with a splatter look, because this looks like overspray paint. If it was bright yellow, it'd probably look good. And then he wants S2000 badges put on the side. He wants them matching to the H's on the front and the back. So one of the first things we do is we'd like to have a nice list to go by. We have a work order and basically put it on the board. So first thing, we had to address that battery terminal. It wasn't safe. We soldered on a new terminal and heat shrinked it on there so it bolts to the battery cable. Other thing to look at is the serpentine belt and this hose right here. This hose is really hard and it's going to fail. Pulling the spark plugs out, if you see this where your spark plugs are soaked in oil, don't panic. Most of the time it's just the tube seals are around the valve cover. When you take the valve cover off, sometimes the tube seals will sit on there. That's the part number of the tube seals. They do come separate to the valve cover kit. Well, they will either fall out of there or sometimes tear when they're installed. The wrinkle valve cover goes back on with a new wrinkle spark plug cover, and of course our nice new stainless bolts just finish it off, make it look a little nicer. So like we've talked about in the past, I'm a big fan of the OEM soft top. We've tried to install everybody else's soft top, and they do work, and some of them look pretty close to OEM, but nothing matches and fits exactly like the OEM one. So we're going to continue to use that while it's still available. We show this so much, but the foam breaks down. This is basically just a surround your shifter, helps cut down some of the cabin noise. Clips, they get broken. Most people seem to break them, removing them. They don't know how to remove them properly. Part of our master rebuild kit is, of course, the retaining clip and the new rubber, the new foam. And then, of course, take the shifter apart, completely clean it, put all new parts on it. Don't forget to warm up that ball. I can't stress this enough. If you put it on at room temperature, it will crack. Even in Florida, I just cracked one last week. Go back to the cup method, heat it up in your microwave, reinstall it, all new grease, new parts. Makes such the difference. It's one of those things that is so nice to drive and feel that shifter. Feels so much tighter and more precise. Next on the list, to raise the car up. It's a little bit low. It looks cool, but it's low. It scrapes. It's difficult to align when they're that low. You can't get the adjustment back in. So we always like to take a before, get all the measurements, we know where we're starting at, and then we can make the adjustments. Trans fluid, and then of course the OEM headlights. This is one of those things that makes a huge difference. We've tried a million ways to recondition these headlights. Everyone offers some kind of trick. If you go on YouTube, everyone says you can use toothpaste, you can use fly spray, you can use all these different things. It's just temporary. It makes them look shiny for a short amount of time, and then it usually ends up falling apart. You ruin your headlights. So it sucks, but there's no real long-term trick apart from just replacing them. And the brake lines we use are Goodrich. There's a million of them out there. Some of them only come with the fronts. Some of them you only buy the backs. The Goodrich set that we offer, it comes with all 4 new bolts, new washers. It's the best brake set that we've used. It's the only one that we offer. That is a blast from the past.
Yeah, it is.
How many of you guys remember this company? You got to be a OG to see that.
It's pretty cool.
That's for your car?
Look at that, 01 Civic.
That is fantastic.
I wonder if someone just had this sitting on their shelf or something.
They have to have. We have some APT stuff sitting upstairs.
There's still a sticker in it.
Oh, you got to put that on the windshield. That is awesome. Some of their stuff was actually really good. The annoying things was the sticker across the windshield and the light up windshield squirters and taillights and stuff.
Well, it was the cheap stuff. That's why everybody had it.
This is cool. Is it real carbon or is it plastic?
I think it is real carbon.
Is it really?
It's kind of thick.
It weighs absolutely nothing. It has to be carbon. So George is getting stuff literally every day right now from FedEx. A little bit of anonymous shopping. One of these showed up too. Is the intake arm for the 2000 to 2005. It is still available. The one that was on his is ripped. Wow, it is thin, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you sneeze, you gotta crack it.
Yeah, if you do that adhesive wrong, you might as well just toss it.
Yeah. Wow. No pressure putting that in. That is actually really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ready? Yep. Yeah, that one hangs up a lot. Let's try it again. That one hangs up real bad. So past video we showed you about this. This is the factory starter that came out of it. This gear is what turns the flywheel, which is what spins the motor over to start it. When you hit the button, that gear fires out, spins, and then it's supposed to retract. Well, often it doesn't retract. It hangs up on the flywheel, which is the noise that you hear. I want to try and show more sounds so I can help you identify the difference between the starter hanging up and your TCT. That way you're not experimenting. I don't want you to have to buy them both if it's only one that's the issue. We've tried rebuilding these over the years. We've had a couple of shops locally that do a nice job of rebuilding starters, but it doesn't seem like it's successful. We'll get a starter rebuilt 3 months later, 6 months later, it has the same issue. We don't want to do the job twice. We don't want the customer to have to come back for the same thing, and the starter is not fun enough to do twice, especially in its proximity to the knock sensor. That thing is so fragile, if you look at that thing wrong, it breaks. Like butter. Alright, next thing is the arm. You see where it's split here. I'll get it out in the open, but I'll show you the fitting that was in here that was kind of scary. It was going from here to the valve cover, but this piece was loose in there and in the tube. It's the S2000 logo to put on the side. The factory letters, he wants them finished in black, which are already black. One thing we notice is so many times the S is upside down, the spacing's wrong, it's crooked. So we're going to make a fixture basically off our car and get this right. And it might be something we're going to offer in the future. We're kind of debating making some kind of fixture that ties this light to give you the spacing of the letters. Let us know if that's something you're interested in. I think that would be a good thing. Airbox is back together. We put a new tube in here, and this fits in there nice and tight, so it's clamped there. There's no chance of that fitting going in there and getting ingested in the engine like the other one, which is pretty scary. And the S is the right way around, the spacing is right, it's in the right place. That is a good idea.
Yeah, and like I said, this is actually, we'll flip over the other side, so we need to take this out, flip it over, and then put it on the other side.
Yeah, if we can come up with an option, a good idea for this, I think we could help people out. So a few things coming up. One, I got some really exciting news right here, and I'm dying to show you it. It's going to come up in a couple of videos, I promise. The Grip Tech polys are happening for the H22. They are at Grip Tech right now. We're designing a hub so we can have multiple sizes for the blower side. The two small pulleys that are always a problem slipping, they're going to be the stage 3 Grip Tech coating. No more slipping. H22 guys, you're getting more boost. We are going to start doing the H22 intercoolers coming up soon. Once we get caught up with the big projects, that is going to happen. So if you H22 guys are watching this, stay tuned. That is happening. There is a new project car coming, and that's the thing I'm excited about. We're doing a few things behind the scenes. There's a few things going on. I don't want to tease it too much, but I don't want to spill the beans too soon, because there's a lot of things that I think you're going to be surprised about. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Don't forget, enjoy your cars.